The Philippines is an archipelago that consists 7,107 islands with a total land area of 300,000 square kilometers. The 11 largest islands contain 94% of the total land area. The largest of these islands is Luzon at about 105,000 square kilometers. The next largest island is Mindanao at about 95,000 square kilometers. The archipelago is around 800 kilometers from the Asian mainland and is located between Taiwan and Borneo. The islands are divided into three groups: Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. The Luzon Islands include Luzon Island itself, Palawan, Mindoro, Marinduque, Masbate and Batanes Islands. The Visayas is the group of islands in the central Philippines, the largest of which are Panay, Negros, Cebu, Bohol, Leyte and Samar. The Mindanao Islands include Mindanao itself, plus the Sulu Archipelago, composed primarily of Basilan, Sulu Island, and Tawi-Tawi. Physical setting. The Philippine archipelago lies in Southeast Asia in a position that has led to its becoming a cultural crossroads, a place where Malays, Hindus, Arabs, Chinese, Spaniards, Americans, and others had interacted to forge a unique cultural and racial blend. The archipelago numbers some 7,107 islands. And the nation claims an exclusive economic zone of 200 nautical miles from its shores. The Philippines occupies an area that stretches for 1,850 kilometers from about the 5th to the 20th parallels north latitude. The total land area is slightly more than 300,000 square kilometers. Only approximately 1,000 of its islands are populated, and fewer than one-half of these are larger than 2.5 square kilometers. 11 islands make up 95% of the Philippine landmass, and two of these are Luzon and Mindanao measure 105,000 square kilometers and 95,000 square kilometers, respectively. They, together with the cluster of islands in Visayas in between them, represent the three principal regions of the archipelago that are identified by the three stars on the Philippine flag. Topographically, the Philippines is broken up by the sea, which gives it one of the longest coastlines of any nation in the world. Off the coast of eastern Mindanao is the Philippine Trench, which descends to a depth of 10,430 meters. The Philippines is part of a western Pacific arc system characterized by active volcanoes. Among the most notable peaks are Mount Mayon near Legazpi City, Taal Volcano south of Manila, and Mount Apu in Mindanao. All of the Philippine islands are prone to earthquakes. The northern Luzon Highlands, or Cordillera Central, rise to between 2,500 meters and 2,750 meters, and, together with the Sierra Madre in the northeastern portion of Luzon and the mountains of Mindanao, boast rainforests that provide refuge for numerous upland tribal groups. The rainforests also offer prime habitat for more than 500 species of birds, including the Philippine eagle, some 800 species of orchids, and some 8,500 species of flowering plants. The country's most extensive river systems are the Pulangi River, which flows into the Mindanao River. The Agusan, in Mindanao which flows north into the Mindanao Sea. The Cagayan in northern Luzon. And the Pampanga, which flows south from east-central Luzon into Manila Bay. Laguna de Bay, east of Manila Bay, is the largest freshwater lake in the Philippines. Several rivers have been harnessed for hydroelectric power. To protect the country's biological resources, the government has taken a first step of preparing a biodiversity action plan to address conservation of threatened species. Political geography. The Philippines is divided into a hierarchy of local government units with the 80 provinces as the primary unit. Provinces are further subdivided into cities and municipalities, which are in turn composed of barangays. The barangay is the smallest local government unit. The Philippines is divided into 17 regions with all provinces grouped into one of 16 regions for administrative convenience. The National Capital Region, however, is divided into 4 special districts. Most government offices establish regional offices to serve the constituent provinces. The regions themselves do not possess a separate local government, with the exception of the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao. Regions. Provinces. List of landlocked provinces in the Philippines. A landlocked province is one that has no coastline, meaning no access to sea or ocean. There are 16 landlocked provinces in the Philippines, all provinces of Cordillera Administrative Region, Apay, Abra, Kalinga, Mountain Province, Ifugao and Benguet, 2 provinces of Cagayan Valley, Nueva Vizcaya and Quirino, 2 provinces of Central Luzon, Nueva Ecija and Tarlac, 4 provinces of Mindanao, Bukidnon of Northern Mindanao, North Cotabato of Siksikajan, Agusan del Sur of Caraga. 2 provinces of Kilobots, Region Fora, Laguna and Rizal Province. These provinces have coastlines on Laguna de Bay, a large lake. Since lakes do not allow access to seaborne trade, they are considered to be landlocked. List of island provinces in the Philippines. An island province completely surrounded by water is the opposite of a landlocked one. There are 16 island provinces in the Philippines, 1 province of Cagayan Valley, Batanes, 3 provinces of Mimaropa, Marinduque, Romblon, and Palawan, 2 provinces of Bicol, Catanduanes and Masbate, 1 province of Western Visayas, Guimaras, 4 provinces of Central Visayas, Cebu, Bohol, Sequoia and Negros Oriental, 1 province of Eastern Visayas, Biliran, 1 province of Northern Mindanao, Camiguin, 1 province of Caraga, Dinagat Islands, 3 provinces of Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, Basilan, Sulu and Tawi-Tawi, Sioux National Enclaves and Exclaves. In political geography, an enclave is a territory or part of a territory lying wholly within the boundaries of another, and an exclave is one which is politically attached to a larger piece but not actually contiguous with it. Many entities are both enclaves and exclaves, but the two are not synonymous. Exclaves which are not enclaves. Calcan City is divided in two by Quezon City. In Cotabato Province, the municipality of President Roxas is divided in two by Antipas Municipality. Enclaves, exclaves and inaccessible districts. In Soccsksaar Gen, Sarangani Province is divided by General Santos City or Sarangani Bay. In Zamboanga Peninsula, Isabela City is part of this region, but it is separated from it by Basilan Strait. Zamboanga del Sur Zamboanga City, a chartered city, is unofficially part of this province but is separated from it by Zamboanga Sibugay. Sioux National Quadripoint. A quadripoint is a point on the Earth that touches 4 distinct regions. Such points are often called four corners, from the corners of the 4 regions meeting there. 4 provinces in Mindanao meet at a point at the summit of Mount Apu, Bukidnon of Northern Mindanao Region, Davao del Norte and Davao del Sur of Davao Region, and Cotabato Province of Siksikajan. More than 4 distinct geographic divisions converging at a single point is not uncommon in the Philippines, and there are other points of convergence between 5 or more divisions that can be found. 5. The municipalities of Taghawayan, Quezon Province, Labo, San Lorenzo Ruiz, and San Vicente, Camarines Norte Province, and Del Galego, Camarines Sur Province, the cities of Cadiz, Sagay, Silay and Talzay, and municipality of Calatrava. In Negros Occidental, the municipalities of Batuan, Bila, Carmen, Dimayrao, and Valencia. In Bohol Province, the municipalities of Alicia, Daguhoy, Pilar, San Miguel, and Urbay. In Bohol Province, the municipalities of Bongon, Lantapan, Sumalor, and Talicag. And Malaybalay City in Bukidnon Province, the municipalities of Aliosan, Carmen, Cabacan and Piquet in Cotabato Province. And Pagagon in Maguindanao Province, the municipalities of Taibao and Barbaza, in Antique Province. Madalag and Libacao, in Aklan Province. And Jamindan, in Capiz Province. 6. The municipalities of Basi and Marabat, Samar Province. And Balangcayan, Laurent, Balangiga and Lawan, Eastern Samar Province. 8. The cities of Ligay, Legazpi and Tabaco, and the municipalities of Guinabatan, Camalig, Daraga, Malilapot, Sto. Domingo, in the province of Albay meet on the crater of Mayon volcano. Extraterritoriality, Plaza Rizal in Naga City is claimed by the province of Camarines Sur, its home province. The plaza belonged to the city when it was the capital of Ambos Camarines. A new capital was constructed in Pili when Camarines Sur was created. Geographic center. The island province of Marinduque prides itself as being the geographic center of the Philippines. The Marinduque governor has stated that their claim to be the geographical center of the Philippines has received notice in support from the National Mapping and Resource Information Authority. The Luzon datum of 1911 in Marinduque is used as point number 1 for all map makers in the country. The boundaries of the Philippine archipelago are described in Article 3 of the Treaty of Paris, as comprising an irregular polygon. A box enclosing that polygon would have corners at 20 a degree N 116 a degree E, 20 a degree N 127 a degree E, 4.75 a degree N 127 a degree E, 4.75 a degree N 116 a degree E. The center of this box would lie at 121.5 E, 12.375 N. That point lies roughly in the center of the Tablas Strait between the islands of Tablas and Mindoro. Republic Act No. 9522, an act to define the baselines of the territorial sea of the Philippines, describes an irregular polygon which fits within a box with its center at 121 degree 4447.45 E 12 degree 466.1252 N, a point also roughly in the center of the Tablas Strait. The CIA Factbook locates the Philippines at 13 a degree N 122 a degree E. The extreme points under Philippine control as of 2010 are, Apusan Point is the easternmost incorporated territory of the Philippines, but the Benham Plateau is the easternmost unincorporated territory of the Philippines. Bithitchu Island is the westernmost of all the Spratly Island features controlled by the Philippines as of December 2009. The center of a box enclosing these points would be located at 12 a degree 46 a euro unregistered trademark 6.13 N, 120 a degree 26 a euro unregistered trademark 36.46 E. That point is located in the Mindoro Strait, about 12 km NNE of Apu Island, in Zablayan, Occidental Mindoro. Climate. The Philippines has a tropical wet climate dominated by a rainy season and a dry season. The summer monsoon brings heavy rains to most of the archipelago from May to October, whereas the winter monsoon brings cooler and drier air from December to February. Manila and most of the lowland areas are hot and dusty from March to May. Even at this time, however, temperatures rarely rise above 37 degrees Celsius. Mean annual sea level temperatures rarely fall below 27 degrees Celsius. Annual rainfall measures as much as 5,000 mm in the mountainous east coast section of the country, but less than 1,000 mm in some of the sheltered valleys. Monsoon rains, although hard and drenching, are not normally associated with high winds and waves. But the Philippines sit astride the typhoon belt, and it suffers an annual onslaught of dangerous storms from July through October. These are especially hazardous for northern and eastern Luzon and the Bicol and eastern Visayas regions, but Manila gets devastated periodically as well. In the last decade, the Philippines has been hit severely by natural disasters. In 2005 alone, central Luzon was hit by both a drought, which sharply curtailed hydroelectric power, and by a typhoon that flooded practically all of low-lying Manila's streets. Still more damaging was the 1990 earthquake that devastated a wide area in Luzon, including Baguio and other northern areas. The city of Cebu and nearby areas was struck by a typhoon that killed more than 100 people, sank vessels, destroyed part of the sugar crop, and cut off water and electricity for several days. The Philippines is prone to about 6 to 9 storms which make landfall each year, on average. The 1991 Mount Pinatubo eruption also damaged much of central Luzon, the Laja burying towns and farmland, and the ashes affecting global temperatures. Building construction is undertaken with natural disasters in mind. Most rural housing has consisted of nipa huts that are easily damaged but are inexpensive and easy to replace. Most urban buildings are steel and concrete structures designed to resist both typhoons and earthquakes. Damage is still significant, however, and many people are displaced each year by typhoons, earthquakes, and other natural disasters. In 1987 alone, the Department of Social Welfare and Development had 2.4 million victims of natural disasters. Terrain. The islands are volcanic in origin, being part of the Pacific Ring of Fire, and are mostly mountainous. The highest point in the country is the peak of Mount Apu in Mindanao, which is 2,954 meters above sea level. The second highest point can be found on Luzon at Mount Pulog, a peak 2,842 meters above sea level. The Philippine Archipelago is geologically part of the Philippine Mobile Belt located between the Philippine Sea Plate, the South China Sea Basin of the Eurasian Plate, and the Sunda Plate. The Philippine Trench is a submarine trench 1,320 kilometers in length found directly east of the Philippine Mobile Belt and is the result of a collision of tectonic plates. The Philippine Sea Plate is subducting under the Philippine Mobile Belt at the rate of about 16 centimeters per year. Its deepest point, the Galathea depth, has a depth of 10,540 meters. The Philippine fault system consists of a series of seismic faults that produce several earthquakes per year, most of which are not felt. Many volcanoes in the country are active, the most recent eruption being that of Mount Pinatubo on Luzon in 1991. Mount Mayon is another of the active volcanoes and has the world's most perfectly shaped cone. Mayon has a violent history of 47 eruptions since 1616 and another violent eruption is currently feared. Taal volcano, also located on Luzon, is one of the decade volcanoes. The islands typically have narrow coastal plains and numerous swift-running streams. Every island has sand beaches, but few open onto spacious lowlands. There are few large plains or navigable rivers. The longest river is the Cagayan River or Rio Grande Cagayan in northern Luzon, measuring 354 kilometers. In Mindanao, the longest river is the Rio Grande Mindanao or Mindanao River, which drains Maguindanao and other parts in western central Mindanao. Egusan River drains eastern Mindanao. Most of the islands used to be covered by tropical rainforests. However, illegal logging has reduced forest cover to less than 10% of the total land area. Luzon. The Batanes and Batanes Islands. The Batanes and Batanes Islands are found on the Luzon Strait north of the Philippines facing Taiwan. It contains the northernmost point of land, the islet of Yami in the Batanes Islands, separated from Taiwan by the Bashi Channel wide. Western Luzon, this region stretches from Marera Point in Pagudpud, Ilocos Norte in the north to Cocinos Point in Maraviles, Batayan in the south. The terrain ranges from coastal plains to rugged mountains bordered by the South China Sea in the west and the Cordillera Central and Zambales mountain ranges in the east. Western Luzon is known for its beaches, surf spots and historic towns. Cagayan Valley. Cagayan Valley is a region of the Philippines, also designated as Region 2 or Region 02. It is composed of 5 provinces, namely, Batanes with Basco as the capital, Cagayan, Tuguegaray City as the capital, Isabela considered to be the heart of the region with Iligan City as the capital, Nueva Vizcaya with Barambong as the capital, and Quirino with Cabargais as the capital. It has 4 cities. Cauayan and Iligan City in Isabela, its regional center, Tuguegaray City in Cagayan, and its commercial center, Santiago City in Isabela. Most of the region lies in a large valley in northeastern Luzon, between the Cordilleras and the Sierra Madre mountain ranges. The Cagayan River, the country's longest river, runs through its center and flows out to Luzon Strait in the north, in the town of Apari, Cagayan. The Batanes and Batanes Island groups that lie in the Luzon Strait also belong to the region. Cordilleras and Carabalos. The Cordilleras and Carabalos, together with the Sierra Madre Range, form the main mountain system in northern Luzon. The Cordilleras consist of 2, sometimes 3, mountain ranges that are found in northwestern central Luzon. The first, called Caraballo del Sur, forms the nucleus of the system and has its highest peaks in the border between the provinces of Abra, Ilocos Norte and Cagayan. The next, called Caraballo Occidentals, is further divided into 2 ranges, the Cordillera Norte and Cordillera Central. They line the central portions of the Cordillera Administrative Region. the Caraballo start where the Sierra Madre and the Cordilleras meet. They are found south of Cagayan Valley, northeast of the central Luzon Plains. Sierra Madre Range. The Sierra Madre Range is the longest mountain range in the Philippines and lies in the northeastern part of Luzon Island. The range stretches from Quezon Province to Isabela. 80% of the mountain range is tropical rainforest, which is diminishing from rampant illegal logging activity. Only 5% of the mountain range is unexplored. The Sierra Madre mountain range serves as the eastern wall of Luzon Island that protects inhabitants from tropical cyclones usually coming from the Pacific Ocean. These storms happen an average of 26 per year, will cause a lot of distress for the people living in the biggest island of the Philippines. Central Luzon Plains, the largest plain in the country and produces most of the country's rice supply, earning itself the nickname Rice Bowl of the Philippines. Its provinces are Aurora, Bataan, Bulacan, Nueva Ecija, Pampanga, Tarlac, and Zambales. It is an administrative division or region of the Republic of the Philippines, primarily served to organize the 7 provinces of the vast central plain of the island of Luzon. For administrative convenience, Manila Kilobots and Plains, this region is where the capital of the Philippines is located. Large rivers from bays and mountain springs traverse the plain. In the northern part of the region, that is, Manila and Rizal, most of the plain has been converted into cities, and are thus industrialized. The plain harbors the largest inland freshwater lake in Southeast Asia, the Laguna de Bay. Mindoro Island, Mindoro Coastal Plains. Mindoro's coastal plains are characterized by rice and cornfields, rivers, beaches, and extensive open space areas. Most of the population is concentrated on the northern and eastern coast of this island where Calapan and Puerto Galera are located. Mindoro Highlands. The Mindoro mountain range begins with Mount Halcon and is further divided into 3. The northwest ends at Calavite Point and is a landmark for ships. The east originates from Lake Norjan and the west follows Mindoro Strait. The endangered Tamaraw, or Mindoro dwarf buffalo, is located on Mindoro. Palawan, Kalyan Islands. The Kalyan Islands are located to the west of Palawan. Kalyan is a Filipino word meaning Freedom Sea Spratly Islands, Bicol Peninsula. This peninsula is connected to mainland Luzon by the Isthmus of Tibas. Provinces occupying Bicol Peninsula are the provinces of Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, Albay, Sorsogon and the easternmost municipalities of Quezon Province. Visayas, Catbalogan Plains, Banao Negros Cebu area, Mindanao, Zamboanga Peninsula. Zamboanga Peninsula has a very mountainous terrain. The chain of mountain ranges in this region is called Zamboanga Cordilleras. The highest mountain in these ranges is Mount Dapi, which is 2,617 meters high. Misamis Coastal Plains, Bukidnon and Lanao Plateaus. The plateaus are located in the north-central portion of Mindanao. They are extensive flatlands around the height of 1,300 meters above sea level. Egusan Surigay de Bay Coastal Plains, Southern Pacific Cordillera, Compostela Valley, Sarangani Cotabato Coastal Plains. Statistics, unless otherwise indicated, the information below is taken from CIA Fact Book information for the Philippines. Area, total, 300,000 square kilometers, land, 298,170 square kilometers, water, 1,830 square kilometers. Coastline, 36,289 kilometers. Maritime claims, measured from claimed archipelagic baselines, continental shelf, to depth of exploitation, exclusive economic zone, 200 nautical miles, territorial sea, irregular polygon extending up to 100 nautical miles from coastline as defined by 1898 treaty. Since late 1970s has also claimed polygonal-shaped area in South China Sea up to 285 nautical miles in breadth. Natural resources, timber, petroleum, nickel, cobalt, silver, gold, salt, and copper. Land use, arable land, 19%, permanent crops, 16.67%, other, 64.33%, irrigated land, 15,500 square kilometers, natural hazards, The Philippines sit astride typhoon belt and are usually affected by 15 and struck by 5 to 6 cyclonic storms per year. Landslides. Active volcanoes. Destructive earthquakes. Tsunamis. Environment, current issues, uncontrolled deforestation in watershed areas. Soil erosion. Air and water pollution in Manila. Increasing pollution of coastal mangrove swamps which are important fish breeding grounds. Severe water pollution that caused the death of one of the country's major rivers, though there are ongoing efforts at resuscitation. Also Typhoon Haiyan in November 2013 caused major problems. Environment, international agreements, Party to, biodiversity, climate change, endangered species, hazardous wastes, law of the sea, marine dumping, nuclear test ban, ozone layer protection, tropical timber 83, tropical timber 94, wetlands, whaling, signed, but not ratified, climate change Kyoto Protocol, desertification, largest cities and towns. The following is a list of the most populous cities in the country, with their population according to the 2010 census. Component cities and municipalities of Metro Manila, Metro Cebu and Metro Davao are taken as one to show the extent of urbanization. See also, List of islands of the Philippines, territories claimed by the Philippines, references. External links, Government portal of the Republic of the Philippines.